So fun fact for you guys, Grand Bend hasn't always been called Grand Bend. It used to be called Brewster. Back in the 1830s, Benjamin Brewster and a friend of his acquired the land from the Canada Company. So it was called Brewster for about 20 years. When they built a highway up from Grand Bend to Goderich, that's when it went from being a lumber town to a more year-round town. And the French tourists that used to come here used to call this Au Crochet, or at the bend. When that name stuck, it ended up becoming Grand Bend. So things change. Grand Bend has historically been a tourist town with a population around 2,000 that swells to about 50,000 in the summertime. But because of the encroachment of larger cities, Kitchener, London, GTA, we're seeing a large amount of people that are moving down here year round. Also with the longer summers, the businesses that again used to be seasonal are starting to stay open year round. I mean, if I fire through the list, Schoolhouse, Aunt Gussie's, everybody knows Denny's, goes on and on. You have so many businesses that are open year round and cater to the full-time residents. It is really becoming a truly special place. Not to mention, you've got places like the Dark Horse Estate Wineries, Hessenland, that's turned into a full-bore winery as well too, the racetrack, it goes on and on. There's so many reasons why this place is becoming an exciting place for people to relocate, and you know, the Pinery is another. So if you're up in this area, another thing you'll notice is the proximity of a lot of the other smaller towns. So if you're living here, a lot of times you're spending your days taking a cruise up to Bayfield, which is about 17 minutes that way, going down to Port Franks, heading up to Goderich, Kincardine, the list goes on and on. Now, I bet you're wondering why I'm talking about the area so much and what this video is all about. We've got one of the most special properties we've ever seen in this area, and we're gonna show it to you next. So now that you're sold on why Grand Bend is one of the best places in the world to live in, I'm gonna let you enjoy this scenic driveway as we walk up to the property and explain to you a little bit about the Huron Woods Community Association. So Huron Woods is its own island within Grand Bend. You actually have a community clubhouse, tennis courts, basketball courts, kids playground, a canoe launch. You get events all throughout the year. They have Oktoberfest coming up. They just had the canoeing and chili event a little while back. They have an amazing welcome wagon and some of the friendliest people we've ever had the opportunity to meet. So that's a benefit you get from living in a community that people don't even know exists. And it's one of the best kept secrets in Grand Bend. Okay, let's talk house. So when we're listing a property, a lot of times it takes 2 or 3 visits before we get to this point where we're actually shooting it. Every single time I came to this property, I fell more and more in love with it. This house has loads of charm and one of the best floor plans I've seen in this entire neighborhood. So how a house is laid out is super important and actually lends to how the house functions and operates when you're living in it. You know, the kitchen, the multiple sitting rooms, the upstairs with the 3 bedrooms, big ensuite, and a bonus room. Not to mention the fully finished basement really give this house that air and feel that it can appeal to so many different buyers. I can envision families here. I can envision grandparents with grandkids and family dinners, and I can envision, you know, multiple groups of friends getting together and enjoying the lifestyle that you have up here. So we never try and make these videos too long because we know your time is valuable, and I haven't even touched on the fact that you're looking at almost 3/4 of an acre. The front yard of this home is almost as big as the backyard. You know, whether you're going to be living in this house, enjoying your morning coffee or tea, you know, sitting by your beautiful stone fireplace at the front of the house, or you're going to be having your morning breakfast, watching the families of deer that come back here on a regular basis, this house will speak to you, I promise you. If you're looking for a property in the Grand Bend area, get here today. Something I didn't touch on in the video, the days on market are dropping rapidly. There's almost no inventory in this price point in this area, and this house will sell fast. We appreciate your time as always. If you'd like to set up a private showing, please contact us. We would love to show it to you.